Hi, how are you doing today? Welcome to a new episode of the Gyan Dive. Today I had set out to create a podcast episode, and I feel like I've been delaying it for quite a bit. I've been sick, I've had stuff going on, and I honestly didn't feel the best. I didn't feel like I could record a podcast that would provide some sort of value to you guys and to myself. So I came today all ready to film an episode of my podcast. And as I sat in the recording booth that I always do at chapter 2, I just felt like I couldn't. I simply couldn't. I felt like I wasn't saying the right things or it wasn't the way it was supposed to be. But what even is the way that things are supposed to be? Oftentimes, I feel like our minds create these things that are barriers to us growing and learning and becoming. And sometimes we get caught up in a loop. We get caught up in a loop where we have certain thinking patterns, certain thought patterns that just happen, or there's certain patterns that just keep happening over and over again. Have you guys ever felt that you even maybe recognize that this is what's going on, but you somehow feel like you're unable to do anything about it? That's how I've been feeling for the past 2 to 3 weeks. I feel like I'm almost like paralyzed by my thoughts. And partly it is because I've been sick and I've been resting. And while I've been supposed I was supposed to rest, I've been quite restless in my thoughts. And my mind somehow runs to all these different directions, has so much self doubt, and it seems like my inner critic is at 100 in volume, whereas like usually it's at like maybe a 2. And when I'm doing good, when I'm doing okay, when I feel like everything's okay, it seems like my critic isn't there almost. It feels like I'm okay. I don't hear it. I know it's always there in the background, but I'm able to steer my mind in the right direction. Because as you know, your mind, the human mind is like a monkey mind. It jumps to all sorts of different things. And despite knowing this, despite having the knowledge of this, that this is what happens, and also having the knowledge of the thoughts of the Gita that you're not your mind and you're not your body, it is extremely hard not to get caught up in it and not completely identify with your mind when you're in these periods of, I don't know, being in uncertain situations, being in different situations. Like me personally, I know I'm in a very uncertain stage in my life where it seems like I have no clear sight. I don't even know what I want to do. Yes, I know what I want to do, but sometimes my mind convinces me that the worst case scenario is happening, that something horrible is going to happen just because I don't have it all figured out. I don't know if this resonates with you guys, but I want to create this episode today to show myself that I don't need to be in a perfect state of mind in order to put things out there, to put my voice out there. And my only goal with this episode is so that it might resonate with you guys and so that you might not feel alone when you're going through things like this. Because I think personally, when I'm going through periods like this, it feels like I'm all alone. It feels like, I don't know, sometimes it feels like other people or like people around me have it all figured out. Obviously, that's my mind jumping to that, but it feels like I don't know what I'm doing and nothing is working out. When in reality, it's important to remember that everything in life, even the painful, even the uncomfortable, especially the uncomfortable, because discomfort is really what creates growth, is just an opportunity in disguise And I think it's up to you to get out of this rut. And being in this currently, I know personally how hard it is, how hard it can be to get out of the rut, because when you're in it, it just seems like this is all that there is. But you have to recognize the fact that there are different aspects of you, and that it's all going to be okay. And you need to have a level of trust within yourself. And as I'm telling you guys this, I'm telling myself this too. You need to have this level of trust within yourself that you will figure it out. And even if you don't fully know what's going to happen and you don't know everything, I think it's important to start with the things that you can control. Obviously, your mind can be very, like I said, it can jump from place to place, it can be swayed easily, and this is often said in the Gita by Krishna himself that he recognizes the nature of the mind, how restless it can be, um, how many directions it can just go to, and it can seem like you have no sort of control. And that's exactly the dilemma that Arjuna is in when he's on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And then Krishna's response throughout the Gita basically details the stuff that Arjuna should do, and each one of us has is Arjuna basically, and the battlefield is just what's happening within us a lot of the times. So I think one thing that can help is meditating. Meditating. Another thing is, I think, doing things that make you happy and reconnecting with yourself. Like I said, I know in times like this, it can just be easy to stay in this rut, but it's very important to, once you're aware of it, to pull yourself out of it and to remind yourself that there's more of you beyond this. And like I said, the different versions of you exist, and your highest self exists. And you are so incredibly beautiful. You're so incredibly loved. You're so incredibly blessed. No matter what, how much self doubt you might be having, you need to have that belief that you're okay at the end of the day. You know, everything's gonna work out, and that you're beautiful and amazing and worthy. And this moment in life, or who you are at this time, or who you perceive yourself to be, isn't the end all be all. There's more to it, and there's a lot more going behind the scenes than you realize. And it's important to realize, like, another thing that I've realized is that it's very easy to love yourself and to be kind to yourself and compassionate with yourself when things are going great, when everything seems to be working out, when you seem like you're in the best state of mind. But it's so important to be able to love yourself fully and accept yourself and be kind to yourself even when you're going through stuff, especially when you're going through stuff. So, yeah, today is just me ranting basically. And this is showing to myself that I don't always need to have a plan. I don't have to be in a perfect state of mind in order to create something beautiful. I hope that this is able to help you guys when you're going through periods like this, when things are messy, when things seem so uncertain, when you don't, all that comes to mind is I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And when you look to external sources for advice, for what you should do, because you feel like you don't know anything, even those points when you feel like, I just don't know what to do, maybe like I don't know. And you know what? It's okay not to know. It's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out. You can just take it step by step. Like I said, today I had set out to make an episode because I've been sick for so long, And it's kind of been a ritual for me where I go to this coffee shop, chapter 2. I love their coffee. I love the coffee shop. I just love the vibes there. But it's been a thing for me. I'm a creature of habit. And it's been a little ritual where I go to chapter 2 and I sit down, and it's just a space for me to have some clarity. So I feel like as I was going there, I just felt so excited and like so happy, like a little better, because I felt like, okay, I'm going to sit down and like it's going to be okay because things have been so not okay that I feel like, this was the time for me to do that. And then to be very honest, when I sat in that booth and didn't feel like everything was perfect. Again, perfection is an illusion that I have to keep reminding myself that I don't have to be perfect. That things don't have to be perfect for me to do it. I think momentum creates motivation. That's a thought that I heard today when I was listening to a podcast, which is something I haven't done in a while and I decided to do today. But yeah, I decided to come to this park, and I feel like just being in nature, like it gives me a lot of comfort and solace. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is not how I usually do things, but I'm still going to do this because I feel like someone needs to hear this. And maybe I'm creating this for myself, you know? Maybe I need to hear this. Maybe I need to put this out. So, if you're going through something like this, if you're going through challenges, whether that be internally or externally, or the external events that are creating that internal doubt and causing that internal critic to act up, this is your reminder that you're not your body and you're not your mind, and that things are going to be okay, that things are going to work out for you. I think sometimes the best thing that you can give yourself is that love and acceptance, and just feeling like you don't have to do everything today. You don't have to figure it all out. Sometimes I feel like I fall into the trap of wanting to just like my mind goes to like analyzing all the problems that I feel like I have within. Oh my gosh, like I'm this way. Why am I this way? What is going on? Um I feel different sometimes. Like, oh, like why am I so complex? Like why do I have so many thoughts? But I think in those moments it's important to take a step back, whether that be with tools like meditating. I feel like meditating really helps me ground myself. And it's just giving yourself that. You have to give yourself that, right? In order for you to be able to ground yourself and maybe feel better, you need to give yourself that space and time and that grace. And then when I do those things, I'm able to take a step back and say, like, yes, my mind is just rushing to fill this like void, this perceived void of like, oh my gosh, like things are out of control. I don't know what's gonna happen. But it's okay to take it day by day. It's okay to just breathe. And let's do a breathing exercise that I've heard helps. It's taking your like inhaling for a count of 4, holding your breath for a count of 4, and exhaling for a count of 8. So let's do it together. Breathe in, hold your breath, exhale. I feel like breath has a way of anchoring you that is so beautiful, and that's why I talk about meditation so much. Like, I feel like it's truly helped me a lot to just, step out of myself for a second, to be able to really feel the fact that I'm the self and these thoughts are just like clouds passing by and that I'm the observer. It's so important to do that sometimes. And Let me take a sip of water because I need it. It's so important to realize the fact that you're whole and you're worthy, and you don't need to constantly do to be anything. Sometimes it's a subconscious thing where you feel like, at least for me, it's always been a thing. Like, I always feel the need to do so many things. And sometimes that can be a beautiful thing because I always feel like I have so many ideas and so many things to do. And, like, I think that's the flip side of, like, having so many thoughts and being a deep thinker. And this is the other side of it, where sometimes I feel like I'm alone in it and it can feel very isolating, even though I'm extremely blessed and I have a lot of people that love me and are there for me. I think I have moments where I just kind of isolate and avoid, and that happens subconsciously because I just, I mean, right now it's happening because obviously, like, I'm sick and stuff, but there's sometimes barriers that are created by our own minds. And I think it's important to acknowledge that things that can make your life very complex at times and you question yourself, like, why am I this way? Those things are also an asset to you and can make your life beautiful and can and are the things that make you you. So I think one thing is that it's so important to just embrace yourself fully. And I think it can be quite futile. Like, obviously I'm saying this now. When I'm in the moment it can be hard, but at in those moments I think just meditating, taking a deep breath and then journaling my thoughts out really helps. Not completely quiet the chatter, but to just put my thoughts on paper instead of just going on in my mind. But yeah, so like I was saying, I think it's just important to learn to accept yourself and to live with all the parts of you that make you you, because that's what makes you beautiful and that's what makes you unique and that's what makes you human. And with this, I want to end this and I want to send you guys a lot of love, a lot of strength, and the fact that it's going to be okay. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be okay. And with that, I'm also saying that to myself. It's going to be okay. It can seem like it's a lot, but I think it's important to just take it just moment to moment and to use these tools to kind of help yourself through it. And even when you come across things that are not so ideal and you're like, "Oh, why am I this way?" I think it's just important to be able to accept them. And yeah, it's like easy to say accept them, but what does that truly mean? To accept them, I think means to be able to just tell yourself, "Hey, it's okay." And I think that's something that I'm learning as an adult, to be able to kind of be that parent to my inner child and tell myself, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, with that, I'm going to end this. And I hope I see you guys very, very soon. Sending you guys a lot of love and light. And yeah.